Welcome in, friends, to what, again, we like to affectionately call Weather Minds or whatever. So we're going to take you through kind of a quick look at the forecast, what you can expect for your Thursday. We'll take a look at the 7-day forecast. We'll kind of break it down a little bit. And then we'll do a little deeper dive into the weather, pull back the layers, and also dig into some new information that always comes out on Thursdays, and that is the drought monitor. We'll take a look at the extended forecast and the overall pattern and why things are going to shape up the way they are. We'll also break down a little further why we expect to see some thunderstorms at certain times in this 7-day forecast. So again, just a little deeper dive into it. So why don't we start things out with a look at the time lapse of this morning's sunrise, and it was just a gorgeous start to our Thursday. Temperatures really starting out very nice around here. We had a lot of 50s and 60s on the map. Yesterday we had some 40s and a lot of 50s. So we have warmed up, and a lot of that is just plainly because we have a southwest breeze today. So sunny skies for this afternoon, also a little breezier. This morning your south and southwest winds at around 5 to 10 miles an hour as high pressure kind of scoots off to our east. But as we get going into the afternoon, those winds pick up 10 to 15, maybe a wind gust getting a little bit higher than that. Rain chances, well, they start to return on Friday. They do look rather limited around our region. And then watching for weekend storms, really going to break down Sunday. That's, I think, when we have a good chance for some of us to see more stronger thunderstorms come through the region. Saturday, right in between all that, looking absolutely stunning. So let's take a look at what we expect for today. Our almanac forecasting a high of 84. Our morning low is 62. So pretty seasonal. You're that close to your averages. Again, right about where we should be this time of year. Record high of 99 set back in 2001. 48 was the record low in 1977. Now think about this. Yesterday we did see some 40s on the map. The Twin Cities didn't bottom out in the 40s, but there were 40s. So yesterday definitely was the cooler of the 2 days. 6:04 your sunrise, 8:32 now your sunset. As we start things out here in this 9 o'clock hour, we're sitting at about 68 degrees, dew point of 54. Good looking numbers. Seasonal numbers today. Dew points aren't out of control. Southwest winds 10 miles an hour. Like I said, the southwest winds pick up a little bit more later on this afternoon. And here's a look at the rest of your day. As we head to the mid 80s, the dew points, they dip just a little bit. Mid to low 50s in August. That's a pretty nice day, relatively comfortable, nothing too terribly extreme. But notice as we get into the evening, dew points start to creep up. We started today out in the mid 50s, and then later on tonight we'll be in the low 60s. So expect that bump in the humidity to stick around through Friday. We'll talk a little bit more about Saturday too. As we take a look at the forecast for today, with southwest winds today, just about everybody gets into the 80s. Moorhead could get close to 90. Thief River Falls at 86. 84 St. Cloud, 85 in Brainerd, 83 for Alexandria, Menominee, 85 in Hayward at 82. All right, jumping on over to the 7-day forecast again. You got a gorgeous Thursday coming at you tomorrow. We're going to take a look at the microcast here in a little bit, but tomorrow looks like isolated rain chances shaping up for possibly the morning hours, and then thunderstorms will be in western Wisconsin into the afternoon. It is in close proximity to the metro, but the metro may be spared there. Then we get left with just a gorgeous Saturday, a little drop in the humidity. Temperatures don't move a whole lot though with all that sunshine. And then for Sunday, we do have some storm chances. For the morning hours, looking like southern Minnesota could wake up to some storms Sunday. Should stay right now the way it looks. Stay south of the metro Sunday morning. But as we get going late Sunday into Monday, that's when the Twin Cities has a better chance of there being some showers and thunderstorms. And then you can see that numbers dip off a little bit Tuesday into Wednesday. Overnight lows move a little bit, but all in all, pretty nice stretch of weather coming our way. So here we are. 9 o'clock hour, looking at the satellite and radar, starting to see a little bit of a radar return out a little bit closer to the Ortonville area, just southwest of Alexandria, some cloud cover moving in. As we zoom out a bit further, there is a cold front coming in. It's going to be a rather weak cold front. High pressure is in control for the most part. That should keep clouds and rain chances down for the time being. But that second cold front coming in behind kind of stretches west of Winnipeg towards Edmonton. That's the stronger of the two cold fronts, and that's what sets us up for rain chances on Friday. So in the time being, looking like we will have a pretty pleasant Thursday. Here's a look at your Thursday. Again, a little cloud cover, rain minimal and basically confined to west central, northwest Minnesota. Now let's jump ahead to Friday. This is about 8 o'clock in the morning, and we've seen a big increase to the storm chances in southwest Minnesota. I'll head over to the wall here and start to break this down for us. Earlier today, the forecast was showing just kind of limited, spotty, isolated rain in southwest Minnesota. It is now really beginning to amplify it. And we've been watching for some low-level jets to help kind of crank up the storms in southwest Minnesota. It was looking like we'd see a little spotty rain Friday morning around the Twin Cities and then continuing showers across northern Minnesota. This is where things have changed a little bit. Now, we get into the early afternoon. The cold front's moving through the area, but it has been fairly quiet to the southwest, continuing with thunderstorms up at the Arrowhead, moving into Lake Superior. Then watch as we get to 3, 4 o'clock, how that line extends back to the southwest. It does get close to the Twin Cities, and that's been somewhat consistent in the forecast models, that it would at least be close to us, maybe not in the metro. Now, this is a high resolution model that brings it in a little too close, maybe a little too close for comfort, shall we say. But it has always been consistent that western Wisconsin would be the favorite spot for those thunderstorms. Take it through another couple of hours. Doesn't quite reach southeast Minnesota. Earlier this morning, the forecast models were taking the storms right through Rochester as well. So we could see that return to the forecast models. But what I want to stress is that mid-afternoon on Friday, we'll have to keep a close eye around the metro. But if you're in western Wisconsin, I would certainly expect thunderstorms tomorrow mid-afternoon. Could be a little questionable into southeast Minnesota. Again, that's been kind of the changes I've seen in the forecast since this time yesterday through today, and then even this morning. There's still some changes coming in with these high resolution models. It's certainly nothing that's alarming. Certainly you would expect there to be some adjustments. But here's the good news. The overall severe weather threat is going to stay rather low. Low with the wind and low with the hail. Not expecting anything in terms of tornadic kind of circulations out there. So it's good to see at least the severe weather threats low. Rain chances look great. Something else coming along, the upper level winds. This is smoke aloft. This is not smoke at the surface. Our air quality has been looking absolutely fantastic today, but smoke aloft is coming in from the west. This is wildfire smoke from the Pacific Northwest. And as that smoke's climbing in the atmosphere, the upper level winds grab it and carry it right across the country. So through today, likely we'll start to see some of that haziness return. In fact, here's 8:30. This is sunset time. There could be another one of those incredible orange-red sunsets for some of us, as that wildfire smoke is likely to be in our upper atmosphere. The cold front coming through Friday clears us out for a time, but notice a little further to the west, still plenty of high concentration wildfire smoke, so maybe a little break from it. And again, I want to stress, this is smoke aloft. This is not smoke near the surface. Right now, it doesn't look like we would have anything close to an air quality alert. This will all be high in the atmosphere for us, so some good news there. Something else I wanted to show you, a drought monitor. I'm going to take you all the way back to New Year's Day and show you what things look like. We'll just kind of use this as a benchmark. This was the start of the year for us, and we had some severe drought up around Duluth, but it wasn't widespread, not a whole lot going on. Yes, a lot of abnormally dry, some moderate drought as we are moving through winter. Now let's jump ahead to last week. As we take a look, here's July 30th. And certainly things have worsened across northern Minnesota. Again, we've had wildfires in the Boundary Waters, and we've seen a pretty consistent area of southwest Minnesota dealing with drought conditions. It has fluctuated around the Twin Cities and around central Minnesota. But keep in mind, we had really heavy rainfall July 31st. We saw inches of rain in the Minnesota River Valley, and an MSP officially recorded for the 31st 1.53 inches of rain. That is a lot of rain. But in the month of July, that's about a week and a half's worth of rain. Keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to take you to today. So the drought monitor has already come out. Keep an eye on the Twin Cities and keep an eye on this part of the state right here. It's abnormally dry for most areas here. And again, this was where they received just an incredible soaking of rain. Now, let's jump ahead. And you see, otherwise, really not much change. We saw some worsening conditions in parts of North Dakota. We saw the severe drought expand a little bit in northern Wisconsin, completely eliminating the abnormally dry around the Minnesota River Valley. But notice for the Twin Cities, hardly any change. 1.5 inches of rain in one day, and we hardly saw any change. So that gives you gives you an idea of just how much rain it's going to take to get rid of any sort of dry conditions out there. It kind of puts it into perspective. So also stresses why we're always looking for the rain in the forecast. Overall drought conditions, it's really, you always have it in the back of your mind that I really don't want to overdo the rain chances around here, because you don't want to forecast heavy rain during a drought. Let's move on to the pattern, because I also want to talk about this. Overall, our pattern, we have this trough to the north of us, so a nice little dip in the upper level winds, and then we have a ridge out to the west. The ridge has the heat, the cooler air pools up in those troughs. As we take it out a couple of days, we'll stop things here on Friday. The ridge is building to the west. The heat is building to the west. Meanwhile, that trough just kind of sits parked just to the north of us, taking it into about Saturday now. And the ridge and the trough don't move a whole lot. Little adjustments. So little fluctuations in our temperatures. So that's why we went from upper 70s to low 80s to mid 80s between yesterday and into the weekend. So we don't necessarily have to be concerned about our numbers taking off. This trough stays pretty much where it is. It might migrate a little bit, but it's going to hold that ridge back to the west, which means it's going to hold the heat back to the west. And that's why in the 7-day forecast and even beyond, you're not going to see big swings in the temperatures around here. And those northwest winds, while they will bring that wildfire smoke that's out here, that's why we have the smoke aloft. That will continue to be in the forecast, but also it brings energy through our atmosphere that sets us up for rain, which we, as we just saw, desperately need. So that's going to be a good pattern to have around here. So a little uptick to the humidity. The cold fronts come through, cools off Saturday nicely, and then look at dew points just kind of hang out in the low to mid 60s, upper 50s mixed in. So really not terrible. This isn't like dog days of summer, but it is summer. It's August, and again, it'll feel like summer around here. So for the next couple of days, again, temperature's not moving a whole lot. Those cold fronts come through, and that just kind of keeps the temperatures in check for us, really. Instead of really taking the temperatures down like a cold front you would expect it to, just keeps us kind of where we're supposed to be. 6 to 10 days out, and again, with that trough to our north, that cool air sits really close by. So 6 to 10 days out, chances are we'll be pretty close to average, maybe a little bit below average, give or take. And notice that ridge of heat staying out to the west. Also, it's going to be rather hot in the southern plains. Precipitation opportunities, again, we're always looking for that optimism. There is a chance that things are a little bit above average. August is not one of our wetter months, but nonetheless, we're always looking for it. And again, monsoon season breaking out in the desert southwest. They love those El Nino years. That brings them some good rainfall. All right, here's your 7-day forecast. And again, we saw the isolated rain chances. Doesn't look all that great for Friday right now. Southwest Minnesota looks like a better chance. But again, keep an eye on the radar along with us on Friday, because as we get into those mid-afternoon hours, western Wisconsin, and again, very close to the metro, what I'm trying to say there, storms are going to be nearby, and that does put us in a spot where we could be talking about storms maybe actually making their way into the Twin Cities metro area. It's certainly something we're going to be watching closely on Friday. Saturday looks stunning across the region. And then for Sunday morning, southern Minnesota, best chance for thunderstorms. Sunday late into Monday, better chance for some isolated rain around the Twin Cities. And then looking beyond that, Tuesday and into Wednesday, what can you say? They look seasonal and they look beautiful.